All right. Good evening. Welcome back to the final day of USA States Cup 2021 quarterfinals weekend. We've got the last two of the winners bracket quarterfinals starting up in just a moment's time with Virginia versus Texas. I'm T1G, going to be joined by Dada and Chili Repair for this one. Welcome, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, men or women,
welcome.
Non-binaries. Welcome.
All the people.
Yeah.
Man, we blundered that one.
That was really good right there. Excellently done. The best intro that anyone has ever introed. But yeah, so we've got Virginia, Texas is the first match of the night. Rectagon, BTMC, Tony, Failing, Wixinator, Kron versus Konyo, Abraham, No Bully, Cuckweezy, 99 wins, and Raul. What are our thoughts?
I mean, there's a favorite in this match. Can you guess who it is?
I think it's Virginia, the overall number one seed of the tournament. Just maybe.
Why would that be? Why would that be?
Because it's Virginia.
Because it's Virginia. They got second place last year to a ridiculously strong SoCal. Fantastic team. Great roster all around. BTMC is a content creator now. He's now in California, no longer in Virginia.
Yeah, he moved during the tournament. I'm going to give him that one.
During the tournament, yeah. But Texas has got a good roster.
Yeah, I think, like, BTMC, honestly, to me, at this point, is kind of a question mark. He's fresh off a loss in NAT at the hands of Thieves on a tiebreaker. He dropped 4 points to Kali this weekend previous, who, like, no disrespect to Kali, but that's not the sort of person you expect a player of BTMC's caliber to be dropping 4 points to. So...
1 digit versus a mid 4 digit.
Yeah, it's,
Or 2 digit.
Yeah, 2 digit. But it like, that's a big question for me because, you know, the overwhelming strength of Virginia was kind of predicated on Rectagon, BTMC, Tony being Rectagon, BTMC, and Tony. And if that doesn't play out, they're not as strong as, you know, all the predictions would have had them being.
Well, certainly not. And especially, I mean, you look at the Texas team this year as well, and they have some massive roster changes from what I think anyone would have expected them to put up for, you know, a competitive roster this year. They looked really good last year, you know, especially good the year before that. And kind of in like a rebuilding stage this year, it almost seems.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Virginia is kind of running with a, you know, quarter less lineup-ish for their carry 3, I think Texas is balancing that out just a little bit.
I mean, you kind of expect Texas to kind of trust the process right now, as a lot of the good Texas players that were on the WC, like Apraxia, Minwoo, are kind of rotating out and, like, not retiring, but just stepping away from tournaments. So they're just trying to see what they have in their new blood, trying to see if they have any new rising stars, and you know, this is kind of a transition year for them. And I'm sure that to even still be in winners bracket is a welcome surprise.
Yeah, I think they were maybe not 100% expecting to beat New York last week, but obviously New York did not have Taquito, so that ended up being a little bit of a different sort of matchup than I think a lot of people would have expected it to be. So they looked pretty good though regardless. I mean, they set some solid scores. Like, Abraham played really well. I forget what else led them to the win, but I remember Abraham doing quite well for himself. Obviously the big thing for Virginia though in this matchup is, like, they do still have Rectagon, who is one of the top tournament players in the country. So bigger carry than Texas has to offer. They don't have anybody, I don't think, who can really match that as the pools start to get harder.
I think that's kind of the thing about Texas this year, is that they have a good roster. They have a lot of very good players. You mentioned, you know, they have Abraham R, they have Cuckweezy, who, you know, have the skill cap to be competitive on this pool. But I think with Abraham having initially intended to take a break, I think after Hippo Cup a few months ago now, and, you know, hadn't really been playing the game for a very long time. He had every intention in the world to not play this tournament and kind of felt the need to fulfill his promise to the Texas team and come back and play this year. You're not quite getting peak Abraham R, I think, which would be absolutely amazing for Texas, because peak Abraham R is a carry presence, and they lose just a little bit of that, I think, with, you know, him having taken a few weeks off.
And then, obviously, like we talked about, you know, no Minwoo, no Apraxia, no Pizza Lovers, like, a lot of changes. So you have a player who's, you know, coming off of a break and a lot of new faces. But it's people who I think want to prove, you know, what they're made of. You know, they want to say, hey, you know, just because you don't know these names on this roster doesn't mean we can't perform really, really well either way. So I'm excited for this match. I think even with Virginia being the favorites, I'm excited to see what Texas has to offer.
Yeah, it's going to come down to that, you know, unironically, I hate using the term, but I think it's going to come down to whether or not Texas kind of runs with, like, third player syndrome a little bit tonight. I think that they have strong rosters that they can put up for a lot of different maps, but I think that they have maybe only one or two players that can play almost everything, and then a fill for most of those maps that isn't necessarily a consistent player through and through. So Texas, I think, is going to be shifting rosters quite a bit more than what Virginia is going to be, because you know you can put Rectagon in for everything. You know Tony can play everything basically right now still, and Cuckweezy has got the skill cap to, you know, cover where BTMC might fall a little bit short today.
Cuckweezy's from Texas.
Not Cuckweezy, sorry, I meant Wixinator.
He is on the left-hand side, but he's not on Virginia's team.
My eyes tricked my brain for a second, even though I knew it didn't work. But yeah, Wixinator is a good fill as well. Really strong hard rock player, but can definitely mask in a few other places.
And so we've gotten the bans without really discussing them. Texas opting for double hidden bans, hidden 1 and hidden 3. Virginia going double nomad bans, going nomad 3 and 6. So we have the long nomad alt band, we have the nomad air 6 band, and we have, you know, kind of the awkward slider hidden and the aim hidden both banned out. And what do you know? It's our 12th DT3 pick of the week. Yomitsu Hirosaka Corruption has been by far the most popular map in this, or tied by far. Like, it and Fremont 3 are both a ways ahead of the next most picked map.
Dada map.
Dada map in pool.
What can he say?
He can say that.
Wait.
Yeah, so I'm interested. I mean, I guess Virginia, they've got Tony and Kron, and I don't know who their third would necessarily be for like a reading low AR map, but I feel like that's not the worst map for Virginia. I don't know that I understand the Nomad 3 pick. Their ban is actually the one that most confuses me, because like nobody's picking that. It's just a map that doesn't exist. It's been picked, I think, twice. So I'm not really sure what to make of that being banned out. I don't know what you're so afraid of on that, considering that it's just not getting played at all by anyone.
Well, Texas has a strong DT roster for this map, so this could be contested, even though Virginia has a solid speed lineup, failing a new player on the Virginia USC team here this year. Got second place to BTMC, I believe, in their state tournament, so has a very strong player and apparently high enough skill cap. The pools were not too easy.
Yeah, so, of course, Rectagon, who you're just expecting to like roll this map, because this is a Rectagon map. I mean, his stream stamina is really, really good.
This is piss low BPM for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's 203 BPM. It just happens to be for like 500 notes straight. Nobly Abraham Cuckweezy. So I mean, you get two of those new players on Texas immediately coming in for the first map here. So we'll get to see them early on and find out kind of how they're gonna fare. And hopefully my internet doesn't troll me. I'm not sure if this is
luckily
Bancho
Abraham is experienced. It might be a little bit. Yeah. But Abraham's experienced tournament player at this point, so is definitely comfortable on stuff like this. Cuckweezy and Nobly going to drop the first set of hundreds there.
There's like the two questions on this map to answer is like, can you get through the ridiculously long stamina section, and then can you avoid misaiming the triples in the last half? Or like that's the two aspects that come into play on this map when we see it. And most people that go in for it can play the stamina stuff fine. It's just a matter of how much act they're going to keep and whether they can hold up at the very end of it when you really run out. And then we see a surprising amount of misaims on those triples. Like I've seen, I think 5 or 6 FCs broken on the triple aim.
I guess it's oh, there goes failing. I don't know if I'm ahead or
nope,
not.
You're good. You're good. That was fine.
Right, we're good. I was just making sure.
Failing the first break.
Yeah, so yeah.
We'll see what Texas can do. They've got the triple FC still going, and Abraham, by the way. What map was it in Hippo Cup? Was it fucking the grand? Was it the grand finals?
It was
I Love Llama. Yeah, it was We Love Llama, and where he just like sent it.
Yeah, just nailed it.
And yeah, everybody makes it through the long stream except for failing quite comfortably. 90, 96, 95, 97, not the worst. And so it's going to just be up to Texas to break somewhere if Virginia is going to have a chance at getting an early break point here. And they're looking like that is just not likely.
Oh, there goes failing again. Yeah, the accuracy favors Texas just a little bit as well with Noble matching Rectagon here.
Which is really impressive, by the way. Shout outs to... Oh, wait, he misaimed. See what I'm saying? You misaimed that triple. Like, it's just what happens. Fortunately for Texas, they had a 300,000 point lead, and there's not a lot of combo on failing, so it's not like the end of the world unless somebody else breaks.
Well, there is still time if someone does find a break, but we are through the majority of that triple section right there. There's a couple left here at the ending, but they are far easier than that section that they're repeated in, so... Texas looks to get themselves on the board with their first point as BTMC finds a break to seal the deal.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Well, good first pick for Texas. I mean, you aren't entirely sure what to expect on this map in this matchup because these two teams are both pretty solid at this skill set. Maybe a little surprised to not see Tony, but I guess more of a raw speed than stamina on him.
Yeah, looks like it.
And Michigan remains the only team to three-way this map, by the way.
Yeah, really, because I had to go and miss.
Texas with what will be, I don't know, the 4th or 5th double FC. I'm pretty sure it's happened several times. That's a good first pick for them, getting the quick 1-0 up on the board on a pretty comfortable fashion, too, 400,000 points. So well done to them.
Very solid accuracy all the way around as well. We've generally seen most people hovering around that 96%. So seeing most people here to the 97 to closer to 98 is very solid. I don't actually think anyone is going to be able to match Taibay's 99.4. So I'd say this is a very solid performance all around.
Yep. And we are going to get an interesting first pick. So Virginia banning Nomad 6, but then their first pick is going to be the Reading Fremod. They're going to go in Fremod 2. We're going to get Barca Mikosu early on in this match.
This might be a very smart pick. So if you are Virginia right now, you know you have a Reading player that can chalk up on both Hidden and Nomad guaranteed because you have Kron and Tony. And then I think the big trump card here is the fact that Rectagon probably FCs this with Hard Rock, which most people can't do because that back and forth stack that you can normally middle towards, you know, the ending part of the map, you have to actually go back and forth on with Hard Rock. And I don't think that Cuckweezy is strong enough on like gimmick Hard Rock for that to be viable to combo through. So this may just be the fact that Virginia is going on the consistency of Rectagon with Hard Rock.
Yeah, because I think you're probably going to see... It's going to be Kron, Hidden, Tony, Nomad, Rectagon, Hard Rock, in all likelihood, because that's kind of their standard free mod for the Air 8 free mods. And like you said, the Rectagon X Factor on 6.5 is notable. That he is the best Hard Rock player in this match. I think that's pretty safe to say. So that's a big trump card to play. And like you said, Texas most likely... not able to match it, but unless they went for some like next level, like somebody practiced Flashlight or something.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
It doesn't look like.
Oh, Rectagon's going easy and Tony's going Hard Rock. What?
What?
That's not how that's supposed to work. That's not what. That what? Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Cuckweezy Hard Rock has expected Konyo Hidden and wins on Nomad.
I mean.
I guess it's probably still fine, because Tony's decent at Hard Rock. I don't think he's as good as Rectagon, but we'll see what happens here. This is fascinating. I did not expect this from this pick. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, this map largely comes down to the slightly imperfect stack pattern and then the Tycho pattern. That's kind of the two big things you often see people breaking on or having trouble. I mean, we've seen people lose score on that perfect stack pattern. Obviously, keep in mind, Rectagon's score will be doubled, so as long as they're within a margin of his score from the lead, and they're still on top.
Holding strong so far. Kakweezy with a little bit of a break. Kanya with more of a substantial one, but Virginia with the three-way FC is going to hold it right now.
Yeah, they're actually going to, like, take the lead at some point here, possibly. If, well, maybe not.
They technically already do on the double easy.
But, like, even with, even without you doubling the easy score, they're keeping it super close, which is just them being in the lead by a whole lot.
Well, I mean, I'm not super surprised about Rectagon taking easy, to be perfectly honest, because he spent quite a bit of time in the editor with this map today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I saw that earlier this afternoon. I was just casually looking at F9, looking for somebody to do a replay for the tiebreaker as Wins finds break. And I saw, here we go into this. Okay, there goes Kakweezy and Konyo, and okay, that went.
Rectagon.
Wait, literally everyone broke except for Rectagon. So he was just. He was just playing. Oh, he does kind of miss, but it's.
Unfortunately, it's a 200,000 point deficit.
Yeah. And there goes Konyo again. Not a lot of combo on the side of Texas to. And here we go into the rhythm thing. No breaks in it. No breaks in it still. Yep, Wins and Kakweezy both break at the end, and so does Konyo. That's gonna really seal the deal if it wasn't already. And
yeah.
Pick's gonna work out for Virginia against a team with a slightly stronger performance. This gamble may not have paid off for Virginia, but it is going to here.
I think against a lot of states, this would be very dangerous, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, the first state that comes to mind for me when I think of that is actually Michigan.
Oh,
this might have been, like, dangerous.
I was going to say Georgia.
Oh, true.
Georgia comes to mind. I don't know what kind of scores they put up on this, but that was a...
I think I was just, like, consumer of Bean Stacker Joe map type moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. But a good performance from Virginia to open up there with the easy benefit of Rectagon. Texas not having the best time on that map given their track record on reading stuff. Wins wasn't too happy with that misaim that he found there, and I think Konyo and Kakweezy just unfortunately not quite able to match up to Kron, and Tony is pretty close between him and Kakweezy, but
yeah, I don't think that was probably a map that Texas really expected to win. Like, it was one that they could contest, but they weren't going to pick it, and they didn't, like, expect to win it on Virginia's pick.
Well, they're going to go Taro.
Okay, so Texas, I mean, DT3 into Nomad 2. Can I say, why are you picking Nomad 2 into Rectagon Beast Troll? Why are you picking Nomad 2?
Because Beast Troll lost to Thieves.
Okay, and
that means something.
These is good at Osu, as it turns out. And he also BTMC did win Nomad 2 in that match by like a lot. He put up like 740k or something and won by like 300,000 points.
Okay, let's be honest. The Nomad 2 in NAT is so much more stamina intensive than this.
It's a very different map, but yeah.
It's difficult though. I don't know, but I think Abraham R is gonna be able to make a big difference here with, I would say, a guarantee FC. Abraham put up an FC on this in the previous tournament this was in, which was a few months ago, and then the last exceeding con. So Texas is basically just picking into what their players are strong at right now.
I mean, I can understand the logic behind that. You know, we talk about kind of the strategic side of picks where, you know, do you pick into your own strengths or do you try to pick away from your opponent's strengths into opponent's weaknesses, that type of thing. So if you trust that your players will do really well on this every time, then it's reasonable. And they obviously did win DT3. This one a little lower BPM, but or obviously stream flow aim rather than just raw stamina.
Yeah, the BPM is low enough that this is definitely going to be comfortable, I think, for everyone in this lobby. It's really about finding the miss aims on those more consistent sections, because you do have those, the 4 or 5 note bursts, and then you cut to another one, all the way across the other side of the map, so... At least for some room aim.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. This is the same rosters as DT3, I believe, for both teams.
Yeah, it looks like it, except for BTMC.
No, he was in.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, was he?
No, he was
was I
in,
just
yeah.
not paying attention?
Yeah,
I'm blind.
Reckoning
It's the exact
BTMC
same
failing
rosters.
against Abraham Noble and
All right,
Cookies. Yeah, it's the same.
Maybe it's because they flipped spots. That's
yeah,
what it
he
is.
and Veiling swapped.
Yeah.
I think Abraham.
It makes sense.
Actually, Texas people, some Texas people switched slots too, but whatever.
Yeah, they did.
This is like
Sorry,
actually an FC map. I'm pretty sure for like a lot of these people, they're gonna be upset if they
Yeah.
don't full combo it.
I would not be surprised to see another 3-way FC on this, to be perfectly honest. I think it's 100% possible with these rosters. For both
Yeah.
sides, honestly.
There's so many good stream players in this lobby.
Yeah. We'll see. Beginning streams looks pretty good for everyone. Virginia just slightly more confident on the accuracy, but it's really only a difference of Nobly.
Yeah, it's like a few hundreds, and Ed just dropped a few of his own. Oh, but Kakweezy's gonna be the first to break. Okay.
Their highest accuracy
lead.
gone.
I just feel like there's like never a world where Rectagon doesn't FC this, and watch me eat my words, of course, after I said that, but I mean, he played this in OWC, right? So he's
I
has
definitely
past
agree.
practice on this and stuff, and he's just good at Nomad too.
I think this is one of those maps where if you FC it once, you will most likely FC it the next time. It's just not, it's not a map that you can be consistently, have varying performance, unless you completely blunder a jump.
If you, fall off of a stream, I guess, but that's just, having flow aim versus not. There goes Abraham. That's really bad for Texas. Halfway through, having your probably best player break right there. That's 2 FCs gone from Texas, and Virginia is going to take a pretty sizable lead off of that once we get through this break.
Oh, at least Nobly's got some very solid accuracy going for Texas right now. Kakweezy doesn't have a bad combo considering he broke early, but I think Abraham's break is possibly going to seal the deal, as we have a fairly easy section of jumps right here.
Yeah, this is just free combo, and it's a 200,000 point lead. Virginia has to break really soon. It has to be at least 2 people if Texas wants to have any shot at avoiding the break point here.
Rectagon's also on 100 right now.
Yeah. This is a Rectagon BTMC map, through and through, and then failing, obviously having a very good time on it as well. And just a quarter of the map left to go. Leads 300k. I think it's actually over at this point, unless Virginia just puts their pens down and walks away from their computers.
Yeah, this is just all but over, unfortunately. The break positions, and the double break from Texas just ended this right at the second Kakweezy missed.
Yeah, with this being a winner's bracket quarterfinal, you can't afford to have only one FC on this map, I don't think. I mean, any of these teams just have players who are so solid on this that if you don't FC, you are going to be in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And Rectagon on the 2-100 play, just, casual as you like.
Will he drop another 100 and give TJ the #1 performance of the weekend? We will find out.
It's gonna be the second 3-way at this point. It looks like.
That it will, and a strong.
Which was the higher score? I'd have to go look at the Massachusetts MP to know.
Massachusetts outscored Virginia by 15k.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's the difference between Taibai getting 6 100s versus the other second player on Virginia.
Man.
So
That's our second 3-way of the week on that. I mean,
you do.
As one does. I mean, that's basically what I said, though. This is an FC map. You basically have to have 2 FCs minimum against these teams, or you're just not going to have a shot. Good job from No Bully. Good job from No Bully, by the way. Shout outs to him for the 8-100 FC, but just not enough backup score.
That's absolutely stellar accuracy on Texas. Unfortunately, the misses just absolutely killed them. That accuracy would have been the best of the weekend by a decent. No, maybe not. It would have been close.
It was
but
up there.
It definitely was better than Virginia's. Because their overall 100 count on No Bully and Cuckweezy combined was less than BTMC alone.
Yeah, it's too bad that Cuckweezy had the slider break. They combined for 16 100s.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Hard Rock 2. Why? This is the second Hard Rock 2 pick, I believe, of the week, and both of them on stream.
Is it?
Yeah. 5-minute long Hard Rock 2. Dotto, why did you do this? Could you?
Hey, at least
This
it's break
isn't
for.
5 minutes.
It's 4.5
break.
minutes.
4 minutes 30. Okay.
Give me a break. So the one time we did see this, we had an FC on it. I believe it was Varler from Team Oregon, and they won it. I don't think he 1v3'd, but like he needed like 1/2 of one of his teammates' scores, basically.
Well, I mean, what do we expect from this map right now? Cuckweezy and Rectagon and Wixinator just to go up against each other? I'm not entirely sure how Raul and No Bully are on Hard Rock.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Texas on this at all. But again, it's just going to be like another Rectagon map. I feel like everything is a Rectagon map, so maybe I shouldn't just say that about every pick that happens, but it still is, I think, fairly true. So we're going to get into it and see what happens. See if we get another FC on this. It's what, 2400 combo or something like that, so it's going to be quite a ride. But
Well,
it's like that type of map, you know, it's the same thing the entire way through with like marginal increases in difficulty here and there. So I feel like any miss is just like gonna feel kind of bad, and especially if you get, you know, 1,000+ combo in and break, you just are in a really unlucky spot. And Texas already with 2 breaks in the opening 150 combo, not gonna feel the best, but it's not gonna affect the scores much because this is so long.
yeah, those little breaks at the beginning are definitely going to be subtle when the map comes closer, but I think it does more, you know, give us a sense of how comfortable Texas is on this map. If you're breaking at the beginning, this map is consistent enough that you will most likely break again.
Also, this is such a hard map to get good ac on. I think the averages have been like 94, 95%, and that's kind of what we're seeing here as well. Meanwhile, Rectagon 99 through the first just under 500 combo, not doing too shabby.
Like you do.
Down to just Cuckweezy with the FC for Texas, and No Bully finding another break after the intro. That's it's not going to be a big lead. I mean, it's only like 40, 50k because of the length, but when you're down 50k on a 2k combo map after the first 600 combo, that kind of shows that you are maybe not quite as comfortable on this as you'd like to be.
Well, all around good performance from actually both teams thus far. Raul with the initial break has been holding fairly steadily. His cursor's shaking quite a bit though.
Well, I think the cursor shakes are kind of magnified too since this is CS 6.5. Like, it just makes it look really bad.
It really is just
Another break from No Bully, yeah. Wixinator and Rectagon still on the paired FCs. Rectagon at the crisp 98.4 AC.
Unfortunately, there's not too much to say right now.
Ooh.
Oh, Wix does.
That was a mistimed slider, I think. Welcome to that's like a 1/16th buzz slider.
Yeah.
Oh, Cuckweezy breaks though.
goes
That's the one FC from
Cuckweezy,
Texas. Yeah.
Raul basically has an FC, unironically.
Yeah, it's
it
100.
really is the difference of BTMC.
That's what 130 combo behind for a roll, but yeah, BTMC up by 600 combo over No Bully, and also the accuracy on No Bully at 92 is not helping matters all that much.
Not at all. Well, I mean, Raul could hold this down if BTMC and Wix find another set of breaks. It's only halfway through. He's looking good.
Yeah, the only downside is he's still like behind by 100k against Rectagon.
I mean,
that's kind of the score gap overall.
That, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, not a lot to do here except if you're rooting for Texas, just kind of pray that Virginia finds a couple of breaks in the last third of the map, because otherwise this lead is gonna just kind of stay where it is, if not grow a little bit.
BTMC is doing exactly what he needs to be doing right now, which is taking the accuracy loss. Wix does break.
Well, it's the problem for Texas is that BTMC is still at 1500 combo, and no bully breaks with the second best combo for Texas. It may actually be over at this juncture. I don't know that Raul has enough score to make up that even if Rectagon stopped playing, he could make up the gap. So I think this is just going to be Virginia taking it.
Looks like it.
Shoutouts to BTMC though, as he slider breaks. He over-aimed, he got slow slidered actually. But I was going to say, coming in as, kind of the person that we were question marking a little bit for, being debuffed by moving and everything. But he's been playing quite well in these first few maps so far. Rectagon is just doing what's expected of him. Like, this is a given that he does what he's doing, but it's the rest of his team that you need to be watching out for. And also Raul, not far behind those FCs, but unfortunately it just doesn't make a difference at the end of the day because he doesn't have the backing score from his team.
Yeah, this is a stellar performance from Raul, especially going up against someone like Rectagon, who does actually break the IC.
That was in like the last 100 combo too, and his AC, his AC is nuts, by the way. 98 with the next best being 94. No, excuse me, 97 on Kakweezy. So that actually 97 on that map is very solid as well. Not gonna lie, but Virginia just too strong team wide, and the 304k for No Bully was pretty damaging. If he got a bit of a better score, that map could have been quite close, but unfortunately did not have a good time.
Well, Kakweezy with an S rank, you really got to feel bad for the double slider break. He had very good accuracy as well.
Yeah, and I mean, they lost by 336k, and he got 616k with a couple slider breaks. Like, what happens if he doesn't slider break? Like that is a very different map.
It definitely is, but I think it really was that no bully performance. Unfortunately, not horrible. This map is very difficult, but I think the fact that the stark difference between him and his teammates.
Yep, 304k is unfortunately in this sort of matchup against a team as strong as Virginia, 304k is not going to cut it. There's no other way to put it.
Well, nerves will do that to you, especially on the smaller circles there with the tech map.
And now we go DT2, so Texas sticking with the strategy. Go some more higher BPM stuff. This one is air 10.3, Delis, kind of consistency, some aim, a couple of little bursts, but 10.3 and 255 BPM, kind of the main crux of the difficulty in this one. Down a breakpoint that has now been consolidated, but they're still sticking to their guns, and I can respect them for that. It's going to be a matter of whether they can execute, though. It's easier said than done.
Good luck, have funds here, and we're going to get into another DT pick from Texas. Different roster this time with Raul.
Raul Abraham Kakweezy. You get Tony in for his first map of the match. Expected, really, on a DT map such as this one.
Yeah, Tony started his match off earlier. I forgot, well, he was in for one of those picks. I don't remember if it was No Mod 2 or the other one, but DT from Tony. He was not in for the first map, so it was.
He was in for Free Mod 2.
Free Mod 2.
Oh, that's right. He was in for. He played Hard Rock when I didn't expect him to play Hard Rock. I apologize. Obviously, it was very forgettable.
Yeah. Especially with Rectagon running easy
yeah.
and carrying, so.
Tony in for his first map in what is traditionally considered his skill set. How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
I'll amend my statement.
Speed aim here.
Failing the first to break. Lead to Texas in combo. They've got a bit of an AC difference to make up, which they're going to do. Abraham are stellar, 99.7. I believe that's maybe 2 100s at most. Oh, Raul finds a break, but it is traded. Tony breaks as well. So it's just Rectagon left with an FC for Virginia. Abraham and Kakweezy holding it down for Texas. They will take a bit of lead now. See what that double FC can do.
Well, Abraham R is a very good 10.3 aim player. He is exceedingly comfortable at these higher ARs, so he is a valuable player to have that FC on, especially with the accuracy. Cuckweezy is bonus right now.
This is looking pretty good for Texas here. As long as they can hold on through this mid-third, they'll be in a very good spot. Rectigon doing what he can for Virginia, but just doesn't quite have the same backing combo. Roll breaking again, that's not the worst. Still double FC, now it's the worst. Cuckweezy finds the break. They're down to 1 FC. It is only 140k lead for Texas, and Virginia now has a pretty serious combo lead.
Unfortunate break for Cuckweezy.
That's
there.
such a
This
bad
was
time,
in the bag.
too.
Yeah.
That's the score cap that we always talk about. I mean, he can get, what, like 800k now?
Probably somewhere around there.
Maybe
The
a little
frowny
higher,
face,
850.
He
but
knows they need to see a break from someone on Virginia.
it really needs to be
right
Rectigon with that FC.
I think if Failing finds a break, it's going to be close, but the score is going to go. They traded, unfortunately.
Yeah. Abraham R is still matching. He's actually got better accuracy than Rectigon. They're matching FCs, but Tony has the 530 combo, which is exceeding Cuckweezy by a decent margin. And
if Tony misses right,
Abraham misses.
Abraham missed. Unlucky.
Well,
A great performance from Abraham, though.
Yep, he did what he could on that one. Oh, right at the 800k there for Cuckweezy. I guess I called that. Oh, Rectigon trolls! No! What the heck is this guy doing?
Goodness.
He trolls 2 maps in a row.
He just got last noted. Oh my goodness.
I said during the showcase, like, don't forget about these couple of repeat sliders at the very end after the spinners, and I think he just did that. Abraham might have as well, because he missed after that. But yeah, just a better team score from Virginia. But that one, I mean, it stayed very close. Texas was in that until the last moments, only 112,000 points. But just could not afford that late break from Cuckweezy, and the bad timing from Raul's breaks as well.
Yeah, I think Texas is just unfortunately finding breaks at the worst possible times. I mean, you already saw No Mod 2. You had Cuckweezy with the slider break, and Abraham unfortunately just over-aimed the jump. And then, you got the DT right here with Cuckweezy's unfortunate miss, which, could have won them the map. Abraham, Raul, especially with his performance, again, just being slightly lower. And I think I mentioned that, depending on how Texas showed up today, they might have a little bit of that third player syndrome. And unfortunately, it's coming in a different fashion from what you would expect, but it is still here.
Yeah, third player syndrome is really unfortunate, and you expect it out of some of maybe like the next tier down of teams, kind of the teams you expect to get like the 12th through 24th spots, but can affect some of these top seeded teams in top 8 as well. And we're gonna go into Honey Paganda for not the manyth time. This is only the 4th time this has been played, but it's like the awkward rhythm hard rock map for this week. Very tricky rhythmic map. We saw Bashiman FC it in Oregon versus Colorado, I believe it was. Quite impressive play from him. You can hear the rhythms that of the drums fills in these choruses, and they're just like what you have to play. Not an easy one. This song is actually a banger, I just don't like the vocals. I've said that before, I will say it again. The song is it actually slaps, but it's just unfortunate about the vocals.
Just a little bit, but...
Stack or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, we will see Rectigon, Wixnator, Tony, Raul, Cuckweezy, Abraham R. Texas really needs a break point right about now. Down 2 break points, and Virginia looking to consolidate the second one for a 5-1 lead. Which would not be a good spot to be in if you are the Texas roster.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Hard Rock is one of Virginia's strongest areas, so...
This is one of those maps, though, where you can really break a lot of different places, so it's never going to feel, like, super comfortable. We'll see what happens here as we get into that first Ki. See how players react to these 1/3s. Raul finding the first break, and hopefully that is not indicative of things to come.
I think it's so rough for them on this map because, you know, Tony does find a break, but Cuckweezy trades it. It's, you know, when you have that guaranteed FC on someone like Rectagon, it just makes it so... The pressure is on, like, perpetually. Because you know, you go into a map knowing you have to put up an FC, and that's why it's so scary.
Yeah, once you get into the kind of later round pools, you know, having somebody like that is ridiculously valuable because it forces the opposing team to be able to match it, or they just are going to fall behind by a pretty serious amount of score instantly. I mean, so far Abraham is still holding on to the FC, so he's providing a little glimmer of hope for Texas, but Wixnator and Rectagon both FCing makes it pretty difficult. Halfway through the lead, only 100k, so it hasn't gotten out of hand yet. But Texas is going to need to see a break out of one of those FCs on the Virginia side, whether it's Rectagon or Wixnator. So going to the second KI.
Wixnator has actually improved her accuracy from the beginning, up at 97 now.
Raul and Cuckweezy both break. That is... not quite nail in the coffin because there's still a third of the map to go, but like, you know, the nail is like set on top and the hammer is just to the side awaiting.
It's some Wix breaks, but oh, and Rectagon, hold on.
Okay, I'm behind now. That's so sad.
Oh goodness.
I'm either behind or you got like banchoed.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, they did both. But... okay, yeah, they both miss on the space pattern.
All right. I now note a delay 7 seconds on my.
Yeah, I got a pretty severe bancho lag, unfortunately. This is why solo commentary is better, obviously. So Abraham needs to continue to hold, though, because they're still 200k behind, and that's...
Tony has to break.
Yeah. Well, even if Tony doesn't...
oh my god, I can't hold it back.
It's okay.
Oh my god, Tony broke. I can't make it stop, please.
Oh my god, this is so unlucky.
I hate this. Abraham.
All right.
Break.
Abraham rolled Cuckweezy. Yeah. Or wait, Cuckweezy got bancho missed, so Cuckweezy did not break. But yeah, Rectagon and Wixnator are gonna bring it on home, thanks to the Abraham break. That's really unfortunate, actually. There was a chance for Texas.
I said I would hold.
Oh, Tony just chain missed. What the?
Yeah. Wow. Into the ending, Abraham with a singular miss right at the end. It was technically enough to make a comeback, but unfortunately, when you have to have a player FC this map in order to win, you're really asking for a dangerous situation. But you know, Abraham with, again, absolutely amazing performance. He just unfortunately didn't have the two supporting scores to back him up, especially against, you know, Wixnator and Tony, two very strong hard rock player and a very strong gimmicky map player, which is kind of what that map is centered around.
You know what match this reminds me of? I'm just thinking here. This reminds me of OWC 2020 Canada versus Germany, where Canada kept picking into their best skill set, which was like a lot of the speed and stream stuff, because that is what they had won some of their previous matches on. But Germany was just better at those skill sets. So the match ended up being an incredibly one-sided Germany win, despite Canada picking their own strengths repeatedly. And this is like the same thing happening here. Texas is picking their strengths, but Virginia's just doing better on them. That's the situation that this reminds me of, and Texas just has to really go all out on this pick, because obviously match point down, they don't really have much of a choice in the matter. But we're going into Nomad 5, which again, like, Virginia is expected to be good at this sort of thing, very good at speed, very good at streams, very good at stamina, and it's unfortunately like what Texas is doing. They're sticking with their guns, like I said before, but they have to execute on it a little bit better than they have been doing, as they now have their backs up against the wall.
Well, they have the players for this map. They kind of blundered Nomad 2 just a little bit, and they do have to be careful because this map is very aim heavy, and they did break on a few of those jumps in the Nomad 2. They gotta hold the nerve.
Oh, okay. First, what? Ooh.
That's
okay.
massive. Wow.
Virginia just double breaks on Tony and Rectagon. You did not expect that to happen on this type of map. That's what Texas was looking for. see how big a lead they can take as they still have the three-way.
They have the potential to win this, honestly, within the next 35 to 45 seconds here.
Cuckweezy with a bit of a chain miss on that stream.
Does break.
Chiller? Discord?
Well, it's time.
They've still got 2 FCs, so it's not the worst. Never mind,
anymore.
they have 1 FC. No bully's gone. All right, well, they just took the advantage and kind of said, here you go, we don't want this. Very unfortunate.
They do have a couple of seconds here. It's not going to be enough. They need another break from Virginia, but Abraham versus BTMC, and Abraham has significantly high accuracy, so any break from anyone on Virginia is going to hold this to Texas right now.
Problem is, do you like expect Rectagon or Tony to miss again in this map?
No, not at all, but there is a chance that BTMC misses.
Yeah, if BTMC misses and Abraham holds, this stays in Texas's favor, but it's going to be tough as we've got still a third of the map to go, and a pretty solid chunk of combo.
Abraham did drop some accuracy there and there as well, so he's having a rough time with the 1/3 to hold his big stamina section.
No bully broke as well.
That might be it.
That probably ends it, unless Virginia just full resets. Okay, there's a break from Tony. It stays alive just for now, but they need another one for Texas to have a chance. It needs to be... Oh, and it's Abraham breaks. That's it.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Unlucky.
You hate to see it.
BTMC, the savior, holds it down for Virginia. Their No Mud 2 player, their stream player, the left-handed gamer, if you will. BTMC does it again and brings Virginia to their win in a 6-1 fashion. We're going to finish out the map here with Rectagon on a very respectable combo as well. Abraham, of course, doing as much as he possibly could. He's going to put up the 700k plus, but not quite enough.
No, and BTMC doing a lot to silence the critics here, I think, in this one, where we were really not sure what to expect out of him in this match, and he came out and he really performed well. So that is good to see, and that's very that's gonna be disheartening for future opponents of Virginia. But they had their points where they looked vulnerable. I mean, yes, they won 6-1, which doesn't look vulnerable, but some of these scores, other teams have done much better on certain of these maps. So, you know, the little bit of hope is still there that Virginia is not invulnerable. You just have to look at compared scores rather than the match result, you know.
Well, most definitely, and they, you know, the winners bracket is starting to whittle down. We beginning matches a little bit further away. You know, we're hitting semifinals this next upcoming weekend, and these matches are going to start to get competitive. The scores are going to stay high, and the maps are going to get harder, and it's going to get even closer. So Virginia had a good performance, but they're going to need to either match this or improve upon it for next weekend to stay up here in that ever-increasing competitiveness of that winners bracket. But nonetheless, they will advance to the semifinals winners bracket. Texas will stick with us, but in the losers bracket now.
Yeah, so that's going to set up Virginia versus Massachusetts as our first guaranteed semifinals matchup. Florida, the other team, currently awaiting the winner of our last match of the night, and then we'll see Texas fall on down. We'll be facing off against Washington, which I think is going to be a really good match after what Washington did this weekend, winning both of their matches. That's going to be a fun one. We're setting up some bangers in the losers bracket as well. Texas versus Washington, joining Carolina versus New York, also going to be a good match. So, like you said, semifinals weekend starting to take shape here, because we have just one match left for the quarterfinals week. And with this match being a little bit of a speed run, we'll have a break in between, because we have South California taking on Ohio. Do not look at any of these times on the screen. None of those times are finalized yet. The tournament client, or the laser client, just automatically fills them in. But South California versus Ohio, that's going to be midnight in 1 hour and 13 minutes. It'll be our last match of this week. We'll finalize the semifinals. We'll finalize the losers bracket, and we'll be set to go 9 years from now, indeed. Yep, they're going to be playing in 2030. That was intentional on my part, because I didn't want people to confuse it for actual schedules. But
actually, the tournament has been postponed.
Yeah, the tournament has been postponed to 2030. Hope you guys are still playing OSU by then. But yeah, so be back here in an hour's time. We'll have the last match of the weekend, SoCal versus Ohio. Congratulations to Virginia on a very solid win. Texas, well, best of luck in the losers bracket to you. I think they can definitely make some waves down there, but it's going to be a tough road. So we'll get to see what they do next weekend. But until midnight Eastern, thank you guys for being here, and we will see you then.